10 years comes really fast, and there are two concepts that I want to very quickly give you today before we break out into our breakout sessions. And the first is a word, and that word is templosion. And it's a word that we coined some years ago to basically describe the implosion of time. Time is imploding. Change is happening faster and faster. So use that word, use it often, and use it in every context you need it, because there is no other word that we can think of that so dramatically tells us how fast time is changing. And the second concept that I want to leave you with is the notion of self-fulfilling prophecies. We look at self-defeating and self-fulfilling prophecies all the time. There are people who project the future, and when they do project it, like George Orwell when he wrote 1984, and he wrote that in 1948 and inverted the years, he was right. The future did look like what he was describing it would look like, but it didn't happen that way simply because he saw it, he wrote about it, and because he wrote about it, we all read about it, and we stopped it from happening in 1984. But I am even more intrigued by self-fulfilling prophecies. And those are people who see the future, and they may not be right when they see it, but because they like what they see or they believe in it enough, they actually make it happen. So what we're going to do is a little exercise over the next couple of days to span the next 10 years in self-fulfilling prophecies. You're going to hear a lot more. You've heard a lot today. You're going to hear a lot more tomorrow, and you're going to hear a lot more the day after. And before the end of this conference, we're going to ask you to visit the registration desk and pick up an envelope with an empty card in it. And what we want you to do is to write on that card, put it in the envelope, and put it in this container, and we're going to seal this container at the end of the conference. And here are the very specific instructions of what we want you to write on that card. Given all that you have heard during the summit and your own imagination, what one new thing or idea would you like to see become a reality 10 years from now? In other words, if you had the power to make any new prediction come true over the next 10 years in one neatly printed sentence, what would that be? Write that on a card, put it in the envelope. We will seal this time capsule at the end of the conference. And I don't know what prize we have for you 10 years from now if you stick around and it turns out that your projection was true. But I personally will guarantee you that it's going to be something wonderful. So please do it. Please participate. And when we close the session, we're going to probably pick a few at random and read them, but we will close the capsule. Oh, and please put your business card in the envelope with the sentence that you have written, so that we know that it's you. Okay? Sayonara.